Hello students, in this video you will learn about fractions. We are going to learn how to divide or part objects into equal parts. And then we're going to name the parts into halves, fourths, and eighths using words and numbers. So first I'm going to show you what is equal and what is not equal. So if I do this, first I'm going to show you what is not equal. So I'm going to divide this rectangle, and you can see that this part is bigger and this part is smaller. So therefore, this is not a true fraction and this is not equal. Okay, so first, this is a whole. And to understand the whole, it has to be complete, right? So here's my whole. I'll put it right over there. Next, I'm going to take this card and divide this rectangle into a half. So I make sure that I'm dividing it right into the half. And so now I can draw my line. And so at this time you can see that it's equally divided. So now I can name it half or halves. This has two halves. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to divide it into fourths. So I'm going to start with halves. Then I'm going to start with a half of a half, which is going to give me 4 equal parts. I'm going to try to see if I can draw this line nice and even. So here, how many parts does it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the number 4, and then fourths, like that. And then we're going to take this one and do it into eighths. That means 8 parts. So I'll do half, then fourths, and then eighths. So let me draw the lines. Half, fourths, eighths. Each one, it takes 8 parts, so I'm going to write eighths. Okay, so now I've used the words. Now I'm going to do the numbers, write the numbers. So with numbers, well, really, this would just be 1. It takes only 1 part, and there's only 1 part on the top. So that's my question. So when I'm looking at numbers, I have to ask myself, how many parts does it take to make one whole? It takes 2 parts. When I'm doing, when I'm using a half, it takes 2 parts. But what if I shaded or colored one side? Well, if I'm just taking into consideration one side, then it would be my bottom number is the denominator, and that is how many it takes to make the whole. So that's 2. And the top number represents how many I've shaded. So that would be just 1. So let's talk about the fourths. How many parts does it have to make a whole? 4. So that's my bottom number. My top number is also 1 because I only shaded 1. Let's do the eighths. If I shade one part of this, it takes 8 parts to make one whole, and I only colored this one. But what if I want to color more? Well, if I want to color more, then in this case, the number at the bottom, it's always going to take 4. I mean 8 if I'm talking about eighths. But the top number now changed to 2. Okay. So you can do it with numbers like this, or you can do it with words. You can say, in this case, it would be 2/8, like that. If I want to do 3 parts shaded here, well, first of all, it continues to be 4 parts to make the whole, and I've shaded 3. So in words, I can use the number 3 and then dash fourths, like this. So you've done it in numbers, written it in numbers, written it in words also. This is how we divide fractions into equal parts, name the parts into halves, fourths, and eighths with numbers and words.